Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. It's Monday, April the 27th. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us. We're back to another Monday. It is a beautiful day outside. If you've been outside, go outside, do your social distancing, but check it out. It's one of those Chamber of Commerce days. We've got a couple of special guests on the show, but first, Brittany Pacheco, my co-host, joining me from her house. Good morning, Brittany. Happy Monday.
Hey, good morning, Todd. Happy Monday to you too. Happy Monday, everyone who's joining us on Facebook Live. We appreciate you being here today. Don't forget, the new mandatory mask order goes into effect today. So be sure before you venture outside that you are wearing your mask because some places may not let you in. So be sure you make a mask, get one, be crafty like Todd. He'll show you his mask later in the show.
Wait till later. Should I show it later?
Yeah, show it later.
Okay.
But for everyone who's joining us today on Facebook, we appreciate you being here. Be sure you like our Facebook page and share this so that we can grow our audience. And also head over to our YouTube channel where you can search Houston Community College, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to find out the latest from HCC.
That's right. Thanks, Brittany. We've got a couple of special guests. Joshua Garfield joining us from his house in Sugar Land. Josh, thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Your hair's looking awesome as usual.
I try.
It's epic this morning. We'll talk more about that in a second. Josh is here with some great tips for those of you looking to set up your home office because you're doing work from home now. You want to be comfortable? We'll talk about that in a second. Students, are you looking for help with your studies? Well, we've got Pearl Ubaru, and Pearl is the founder of SiSTEM Tutoring Agency, who helps one agency who helps HCC students with all types of classes, but particularly Pearl. Tell me what you guys specialize in.
So thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited. I am the founder of SiSTEM Tutoring Agency, like you said, and we do specialize in STEM subjects. So SiSTEM actually stands for Students in STEM. It's system with an I. And so STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, math. We do calculus, we do biology, we do some engineering courses, we do coding courses. Any of those we specialize in.
And tell me about your story. How did you get started in this? How long have you been doing it?
So I actually got started, I want to say in college in like 2013. I was looking for a job and I knew that I didn't want to do anything like too rigorous. So I knew, okay, I can probably tutor. And so I started tutoring student athletes at Baylor. And I thought it was like the easiest job ever. I'd just go in, I would explain different topics that seemed easy to me, harder for them. And I just liked how they always left feeling like they left feeling accomplished and I left feeling accomplished. Like I really did something for them. Then I graduated from college and actually became a teacher and loved teaching. I taught high school math for a few years, but I kind of wanted to do something more flexible. And so I ended up going ahead and just revamping my whole tutoring company and just creating SiSTEM Tutoring Agency. That's kind of how I got started. So.
Were you guys working online before all this happened? How did you work with students? Was it a one-on-one thing? Did you do online, a mixture? How did that work?
So it's funny you say that. We actually did a mix of both, but most of the time it was in person. In person is always easier to do. And so in person is what we did, but there were a few of our tutors that definitely did virtual using like an iPad and screen sharing. But now that COVID has come and just reared its ugly head in our lives, we have started to do a lot more of video platforming. Which has really been interesting. It's been a little tricky, but we are working on different ways to make it much easier to access tutoring services from us from a technical or virtual standpoint.
And tell me about what SiSTEM offers to students. What type of services do you offer to them?
So we do offer a little bit of homeschooling. We do offer obviously tutoring one-on-one. We do group tutoring, and now we're in the process of kind of like for sure doing online and virtual tutoring. Like I said, we can help you with any kind of math course, whether that's pre-algebra all the way up to calculus 3. I think one of our tutors even does statistics. We help prepare you for exams, professional exams, MCAT, PCAT, SAT, GRE, any of those, we can help with that as well.
You know, Brittany may be able to comment more on this as well, but one of the things I've been reading in social media is there seems to be a need for tutors out there. Brittany, I've been seeing a lot of comments from students saying, hey, I'm not getting this whole online thing. I need some tutoring help. Have you noticed that as well?
Definitely. We have had some of our students who have asked if there would be any tutoring available while we transition from face-to-face to online. So I think your services in particular, for those who are studying these really tough courses that I feel, because for example, I had to take, I think it was a math course online one time, and it was just so difficult for me because not a math person whatsoever. I went into the arts for a reason. So I think having someone, such as yourself and your organization to assist, especially during this time, which is really unprecedented, and having to shift from, like I said, face-to-face to online. I think it's great that you guys offer this.
Thank you so much. Yes. And so that's funny you say that, because a lot of our students now that we've received have that same issue with just having to turn quickly to online learning. It's really different from in person. So they definitely need that extra support. And that's exactly what we're here for.
You know, Pearl, are you seeing a rise in business right now with people reaching out to you? Are you seeing that? Because it just seems like this new online world is confusing. I know what Brittany was talking about. I can't imagine taking online courses when I was in college, but I can tell you I took a summer course and I bombed miserably because it was statistics. And, I was a art major as well, and got into the arts. So it was extremely tough. And I can't imagine right now students were going to class in person. Many were taking calculus and algebra, and they may have struggled a bit then, but I imagine they're really having a tough time now dealing with this online world.
Yeah, so we have actually seen not a huge increase, but we have seen an increase in students asking for help, especially the ones in college, just because they have completely shifted to online learning regardless. I know we do tutor anyone from pre-K. So our youngest student that we tutor is 4 years old, and the oldest we tutor is like 50 years old. And we've noticed an influx in the college students because of this shift. So it's been really, really, really interesting having to delegate the tutors and have them reach out and have them, download these softwares for them to be able to, share content, share PDFs back and forth, screen share, talk about it, schedule sessions in advance. So it's been really, really cool. And really, I'm happy that we're getting good business, but it's unfortunate about the circumstances, but it's really awesome that this has forced us to become more virtual and become more technological, which is kind of what was my aim for SiSTEM in the first place, for sure.
And for people who need specialized tutoring, how do they find you? What is your web address? What is the cost associated? Now, I imagine if they're getting money for financial aid, have some money left over, they could use that for your services, correct?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So if you do want any type of tutoring services from SiSTEM, the easiest way to do it is to head over to our website, which is www.systemtutoring.com. On there, you can see all about us, how we work, service areas that we service. You can check out all our tutors. They're all over the Houston area. They're all able to tutor in math specifically. There are a select few that can go ahead and tutor you in science as well. We also do a little bit of English. And of course, we do test prep. If you do want more information, if the website isn't helping, we do have a phone number. You can call us at 832-217-9947. And of course, there is email, systemtutoring@gmail.com.
Pearl Ubaru, thanks for being here today and telling us about SiSTEM tutoring. Of course, HCC students, we do offer tutoring as well, but sometimes you need a little bit of extra tutoring, and that's what services like SiSTEM are for. And we appreciate you coming on the show today and telling students that basically you're out there to help as well.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Pearl, for being here. And right now we're joined by Josh Garfield, who is at his home in Sugar Land. Josh, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
And Josh, if you didn't know, is he's one of our part-time workers now. And you recently graduated from the University of Houston. Is that correct?
Yes, I graduated last May.
All right. Now tell us, Josh, we're all working in a remote field right now, and I see you've got your nice comfy chair right there. And what if someone is setting up a home office? I know you've been doing a little research and you've had a little help out there as well, but you've been doing a little research on how people can work from home more comfortably. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so one of the most important things you can do if you're around the computer all day, whether it's working or any other leisurely activity, is maintaining your posture. You don't want to be slouching over like this all day, especially when you're working, like your 8-hour days. You don't want to be uncomfortable. You want to be able to work efficiently. And the number one thing that you need to pay attention to is listening to your body. So if you feel like, oh, this is not a comfortable position, you should adjust yourself just to make sure that you aren't potentially doing long-term damage to your spine or any other parts. You always want to be conscious of your posture, make sure that you are perfectly comfortable. And like if you do start to get uncomfortable, it's always good to just move around a little, maybe every 15, 20 minutes, just stand up, move around, do an exercise or two.
And I noticed, speaking of exercise, I noticed a lot of folks, like I have one at the office and I wish I had it at home, but we have those desks now that are collapsible where you could lift them up and stand. And I guess that's important if you're going to be sedentary for quite a time.
Yeah, it's all like changing your desk up can also like help your mindset, stuff like that. You can change from standing up if you just need to like put some more pressure on your legs instead of just like sitting there all day slouched over at your desk.
And what about setting up of the mouse pad and your computer positioning, and keeping your eyes focused in one area? What are your tips for that? And also the lighting, because I know that's important as well.
So when it comes to like setting up like your accessories, one of the things, or just not just setting up but using them, some people still look down at the keyboard when they type. I can switch back and forth, but more often than not, I do look down at my keyboard. But it's always good to just look down with your eyes instead of just looking down with your neck, because it can eventually strain, and you are able to still see the keys as well as the monitor if you look at the right angle. And when it comes to the mouse pad, it's always good to like position it in just a way. Like some mouse pads have like the little cushion like towards the end of it that you can rest your arm on or rest
Right.
your wrist on. And you just want to make sure it's in a comfortable position, make sure it's angled correctly, all of that.
Josh, I notice you're wearing the headphones with the microphone. Any rule of thumbs for that? Because I know sometimes that can hurt the top of a person's head when you're wearing this type of headphones.
Right. So normally I just use my headphones as an extra set of speakers. Like I'll just have them plugged in, like turned up all the way and just sitting off to the side. But because I'm on here, I need the microphone to be able to actually pick me up. So
Yeah.
I'm wearing it for now. But it's always good. Don't keep them on for way too long because it eventually could cause like a couple problems with your ear. Like if you're wearing it like 16 hours a day or something like that, you could eventually get like a little, like small little like dents towards the top of your head. You always just want to make sure it's comfortable. A lot of headphones are adjustable. You can change like how low they go. You can just move
Yeah.
the mic up, down, change all the volume settings. It's always good to just find what's comfortable for you.
And I guess the main thing is that when we're at our office, if we work at an office like you do, you have your own workspace, which is taking you months to set up. And now we've been kind of thrown into this world where we're all doing our work at home. You've got to really make yourself comfortable, because in reality, we don't know how long we're going to be here working. We don't know when we're going to get back in the buildings.
Right. One thing I found is I like my keyboard, my mouse, I like them at a very certain angle. And if it gets messed up, like it takes me like a while to actually readjust. If the monitor gets turned ever so slightly, it grinds my gears, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's important to be comfortable in the setup, especially if you're here for, I don't know. I mean, I found like sometimes you're working longer hours at the house than you are at the office, because there's so much more for us to do right now. Josh, I know you produce a number of stories for us. Any ideas what you got coming up this week? Some things you're looking at working on?
Off the top of my head, I don't have anything currently scheduled, but I was talking to Tony, who is one of our professors. She leads like the student intern program. I was talking to her about my grandfather and grandmother both contacted coronavirus, and they both recently got cleared. They are mostly good. My grandma is back home, so I was thinking about seeing if I could do a package of someone who has recovered from the virus and how their experience was in the ICU?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That sounds like something that's you don't hear that enough about people recovering. It's always good to hear people recovering. And I know I met your grandparents once, long time ago, but it's good to hear they're back on the road to recovery, like a lot of people are.
Yes, thank you.
Well, Josh Garfield, thanks for being here. Join us. Stick around for the rest of the show. We got Brittany, who's going to be talking about some social media things we have going on. Brittany, good morning again.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
So tell me, Brittany, what do you have going on in social media? Have you noticed any questions coming through this morning?
Yep, we've had a couple of questions come through over the weekend. So students are still interested in taking part in our summer courses, which, yes, we are having our summer session. It's not going to be the conventional face-to-face, hybrid, online. It's only going to be 100% online for summer 2020. So if you are interested in registering for HCC classes this upcoming summer, be sure to head over to hccs.edu/now to check out our course listings. And other students have been asking about the virtual lobby and what that's all about. Todd, do you want to kind of shed some light on that?
Yeah, so the virtual lobby is real easy. Let's see if I can bring it up on my screen share here. But the virtual lobby is extremely easy. You can go to our homepage. Let's see here if we can go to it. hccs.edu. And there we go. hccs.edu. So you bring up the homepage. And then if you're looking at it here, you want to scroll down. And there's going to be a little icon at the bottom of the page that says virtual assistants, virtual lobby. You see that right there? You click on it. Let's see if we can get it going here. Working around a little slow. My computer's running a little slow this morning, but when you click on it, it's going to prompt you to a page like this, and you simply fill out the form with your first name, last name, student ID, date of birth, your email address. Make sure you give us a good contact number so we can get a hold of you, your preferred method of contact, and then most importantly, your comments or questions. And the good thing about this, Brittany, is that oh, there we go. I don't know why it does that every time I come back from sharing the screen. So the good thing about that social media, about the page, Brittany, is that when you go to this page, you can leave a personalized question. So you don't have to post it in social media. So that way the rest of the world doesn't see it, and you get your own individual answer back from our student services department. And I know they posted that. They built this page about 3 weeks ago, and the response has been incredible so far.
Definitely. So students, if you have a very specific question that needs to be addressed, be sure to head over to the virtual lobby form where Todd just showed you. Go to hccs.edu, and either in the green bar or at the bottom of every page on the HCC website, you can find the virtual lobby button. Or like I said, go to the green bar where it says virtual lobby, fill out that form, and a team member will get back to you as soon as possible.
That's right. And another thing to keep in mind while we're talking registration, the summer, of course, is going to be online. Fall is still to be determined, but we're taking fall registration. You want to get those classes you need. Well, now is the time to register, and it's actually starting, a week from Wednesday, a week from is it Monday, a week from today?
A week from today, that's correct, Todd. So fall 2020 registration begins on May 4th. So if you all are interested in attending the fall, we highly encourage you to do so, because now is the time to get your studies in. We understand that there's a lot going on, but still your education is important. And we obviously are here to service the community and our students. So be sure, if you're interested in fall 2020, to head over to hccs.edu/now on May 4th to register for fall 2020 courses.
And if you're graduating this semester, well, congratulations to you. We do have a graduation ceremony that's going to happen on May the 22nd.
That's correct, Todd. So we're having 2 sessions that are happening virtually, the very first in HCC history. So we will be having our vast commencement ceremonies at 9 a.m. on May 22nd, which is a Friday. And then our regular commencement is happening at 2 p.m. the same day, May 22nd. So be sure you head over to hccs.edu/graduation for all instructions and steps on to make sure that you register for graduation. Make sure you have your name be printed in the print program. Sorry, it's Monday morning. I can't think and talk at the same time, apparently. But students, we invite you to participate in the virtual commencement ceremony, but you also have the option to participate in the fall 2020 commencement ceremony to actually walk. We know that this is such an achievement in your life, and we want to make sure that you all get to experience that rite of passage. So be sure to, like I said, either participate in the virtual commencement ceremony, or you can participate in fall 2020 commencement ceremony.
Did you walk when you had your graduation, Brittany?
I did. Back in 2011, I walked at the Energy Stadium, and that was quite an experience. And I know what that means for all the students who have worked so hard to get to this point in their lives, and it's definitely a rite of passage. And kind of makes me think about our high school seniors this year who won't be able to experience prom and potentially their graduation. So,
Right.
I understand, I sympathize, and we're all in this together. Definitely, we're all feeling it.
We sure are, but we're moving forward with things. Classes are online. Our graduation in May is going to be online. This summer, our classes are online. We're hoping by the fall we'll be back in the buildings, and we're certainly hoping by next December we'll have a full graduation where our students can participate in person. And if you didn't get a chance to walk in May, we do encourage you and invite you to walk in December when we have our graduation then. One thing to keep in mind, folks, if you are looking for any information on HCC's response to this COVID crisis and where you can go for all the information, there are a couple of websites, Brittany, that they can visit.
Absolutely. So for the latest on all of our announcements from HCC, head over to hccs.edu/health-notice. You'll see that right at the bottom of this little broadcast where it says stay informed. So head over there, check out all the announcements dating back from March to now. One important announcement to be aware of is the new grading policy that is temporary, that we're making those accommodations for the spring semester since, again, this is an unprecedented semester for everyone. So be sure you become very familiar with that new grading policy. The second URL for students to be very familiar with is the student resources page for COVID-19. So head over to hccs.edu/COVID-19 students. That's where you'll find all of our departments' new policies, information from advising, counseling, testing, financial aid, you name it, it's there. So become very familiar with those two websites. And again, if you have a very specific question that needs to be addressed, go to the virtual lobby form, fill out that form, and again, an HCC team member will get back to you as soon as possible.
Well, as you mentioned at the top of the show, we're living in different times in Harris County these days, especially starting today because of this new mask order that's out there. Are you wearing your mask these days, Brittany?
My masks are in my car right now because I really haven't had to venture out just yet this morning, other than walking my dog this morning around my apartment complex, which you do not necessarily need to wear your mask while you're exercising. So be sure you become very familiar on when it's appropriate to wear the mask and when you don't necessarily have to. But if you are going to venture out to go to the grocery stores, to go run some errands that you absolutely have to do, you're most likely going to need to wear that mask. But if you're staying home, if you're exercising, things of that nature, you don't necessarily need to wear the mask.
Yeah,
I want to see yours, Todd. I want to see your mask.
You want to see mine? So here's mine.
There you go.
I'm ready to go to HEB or to go, rob a stagecoach, one of the two.
Yeah, I was going to say something about a stagecoach as well.
Yeah, so there you go. It takes me back to the old West days. So yeah, that's the world we're living in. There you go. But yeah, it's mandatory in Harris County, folks. So there you go. And you don't have to wear a mask. You can wear a bandana or a handkerchief or anything that covers your face, your mouth, and your nose. That's what I'm doing as well.
I've seen people get very crafty and take old T-shirts and cut off the sleeve of their old T-shirts and just kind of throw it over their head. So
that's a good idea. I like that one.
Yeah,
I have a headband that's longer, so I can stretch it to about right here. If I wear it, I kind of look like a ninja when I wear that.
Goodness.
There you go.
Definitely.
All right, so that pretty much wraps things up for today. Thanks, Brittany. Thanks for being here. And, of course, want to thank our guest, Pearl, from Systems Tutoring. Pearl, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And your website, once again, where can they go find you?
www.systemtutoring.com.
All right. Thanks, Pearl. And Josh Garfield from his home in Sugar Land. Josh, thanks for the tips on making our home office more comfortable.
Always a pleasure, Todd.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us. We've got a great show for you tomorrow. We've got Professor Scott Hillman and Trevor Chandler of HCC Southwest. They'll be discussing HCC's scholarship grant from Texas A&M and talk about cybersecurity threats, something we really need to keep an eye out on right now. Plus, we're going to venture out to San Francisco virtually. We've got a former HCC student now practicing in San Francisco. He's doing virtual house calls. And before they were mandatory, he was visiting people online. He has a company called Doc on the Run. We'll be talking with the doc himself, former HCC grad, Dr. Christopher Segler, tomorrow on Up to the Minute. Thanks for joining us on the show today. We will see you in the morning at 10 a.m.